Have you ever wondered how Travis Scott went from a struggling artist in Houston to one of the biggest names in music and business? He didn't just make hits, he built an empire. From his unforgettable music to massive brand collaborations, Travis turned his passion for sound into a global fortune. But how did he do it? In this video, we'll break down the journey of how Scott turned his unique sound into a $100 million brand and became a cultural icon. This isn't just about his music. It's about how he used every opportunity to create something bigger. Let's dive in to find out how Travis Scott built his empire. The early grind, from Jacques Webster to Travis Scott. Jacques Webster grew up in Houston, Texas, with big dreams and a restless spirit. His early years were spent experimenting with sounds, creating beats in his room, and teaching himself how to manipulate music. There were no grand plans or formal roadmaps, just a pure obsession with sound. As a teenager, he was driven by one goal: to make music that created feelings, not just melodies. His journey wasn't an easy one. With no connections in the industry, Scott spent years bouncing between Houston, New York, and Los Angeles, crashing on couches and knocking on doors that stayed closed. Despite the constant setbacks, Scott's persistence paid off when T.I. heard his track Lights. T.I. saw not just a talented artist, but someone who could create unforgettable moments with his music. It wasn't long before Scott found himself signing with Grand Hustle and collaborating with the likes of Kanye West, launching his career into the limelight. The birth of a sound. Scott's early projects, Owl Pharaoh and Days Before Rodeo, were experimental, chaotic, and brimming with energy. His style was far from mainstream, breaking away from traditional rap by bending and stretching the genres. His sound was unique, heavy bass, psychedelic undertones, and hypnotic melodies that made listeners feel more than just hear the music. But it wasn't until the release of Rodeo that Travis Scott found his signature sound. The album wasn't just about songs, it was about an experience. His music became a portal into a world that people could step into. With hits like Antidote and 3500, Scott crafted an identity that was impossible to ignore. Rodeo became a commercial success, but more importantly, it solidified his identity as a trailblazer in hip-hop. This was just the beginning of something much bigger. Astroworld, a movement, not just an album. When Travis Scott dropped Astroworld in 2018, it wasn't just another album. It was a cultural moment. Named after the now-defunct Houston amusement park from his childhood, Astroworld became more than just a record. It was an event. The anticipation surrounding the album was monumental, with fans anxiously awaiting Scott's next move. The rollout was meticulously planned, with every detail designed to build excitement and anticipation. When the album finally dropped, it debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts, moving over 537,000 units in its first week. Scott knew that the music alone wouldn't be enough. It needed to be an experience that fans could feel deeply, and he succeeded. But it wasn't the numbers that truly defined Astroworld. It was the experience. Scott understood that in today's world, albums aren't just about songs. They're about creating an immersive experience for fans. His festival, merch sales, and the viral moment of Sicko Mode showed how Astroworld was a movement, not just an album. Fans weren't just listeners. They were participants in the Astroworld experience. The release of Astroworld blurred the lines between music and culture, and the event became a hallmark in Scott's career. It was no longer just about the beats or lyrics. It was about creating a world people couldn't get enough of. This was the moment Scott transitioned from a rapper to a cultural force, building the Cactus Jack empire. While most artists focus solely on their music, Travis Scott built an empire that extended beyond his tracks. From the beginning, Scott understood that success in music was just the foundation for something bigger. His empire stretches across multiple industries: music, fashion, food, and tech. And his business ventures have been as strategic as his music releases. Each collaboration, each business move, was an opportunity to build an empire that wasn't dependent on just one source of income. His most iconic partnership, the collaboration with Nike. The Travis Scott X Air Jordan 1 Mocha became an instant classic, selling out within seconds and commanding resale prices that reached over $2,000. The partnership helped Scott solidify his presence in the world of fashion. But it didn't stop there. His business acumen led to a partnership with McDonald's for the Travis Scott meal, a move that became a viral sensation. This was the first time since Michael Jordan in 1992 that McDonald's had named a meal after a celebrity. Scott's strategic thinking made the meal a cultural moment in itself, bringing together his music, brand, and the power of collaboration. Scott's business ventures go beyond fashion and food, though. He created Cactus Jack Enterprises, his own record label, which signed promising artists like Don Toliver and Sheck Wes. This was the moment Scott became more than just a rapper. He became a businessman with a far-reaching influence. His ability to build a diverse empire and control multiple industries at once showed just how far his ambition stretched. The influence of Cactus Jack and fashion. In 2017, Travis Scott launched Cactus Jack, a record label, but it didn't stop at music. Cactus Jack is an all-encompassing brand, covering fashion, merch, and collaborations. His partnership with Nike led to one of the most successful sneaker collaborations in history, with his designs flying off the shelves and becoming cultural artifacts. This wasn't just about creating products. It was about creating an aura around everything he did. Scott's influence in fashion was undeniable, and it was clear that his brand had the power to shape trends. Scott's fashion influence didn't end with sneakers. His collaboration with McDonald's wasn't just about a meal. It was a whole brand experience. Through strategic partnerships, Scott continues to be a leader in both the music and fashion worlds. With every move, he proved that he wasn't just making music. He was building a culture, one collaboration at a time. This intersection of music, fashion, and business allowed Scott to transcend the traditional boundaries of a rapper, creating a brand that was as much about lifestyle as it was about sound. He was creating an empire that was grounded in authenticity and connection with his audience. The resilience of Travis Scott, turning tragedy into triumph. Despite his immense success, Travis Scott's career hasn't been without its challenges. The tragic events at the 2021 Astroworld Festival rocked his empire. The crowd surge that resulted in multiple deaths led to lawsuits, public backlash, and a temporary halt in corporate partnerships. For a brief moment, it seemed like the empire Scott had built might collapse. But Scott's resilience shone through. He took responsibility, offered support to the victims' families, and most importantly, came back stronger. His ability to bounce back from tragedy showcased his mental toughness and determination. With the release of Utopia in 2023, Scott reclaimed his place at the top of the music world, proving that even in the face of controversy, his influence remained undeniable. Scott showed the world that setbacks were just part of the journey, and his rise from the ashes was a testament to his ability to adapt and rebuild. The future of Travis Scott, beyond music. Travis Scott's empire is no longer just about his music career. His investments in real estate, his ventures into alcohol with Cacti, and his strategic partnerships in tech and gaming, such as his collaboration with PlayStation, are all signs of an empire expanding beyond the music industry. Scott's ability to diversify his investments and create new streams of income demonstrates his forward-thinking approach to business. Scott's philanthropic efforts are also a key part of his legacy. Through the Cactus Jack Foundation, he's made significant contributions to his community, providing food, toys, and resources to families in need. His real estate portfolio, worth millions, is another example of his growing wealth and influence. With a diversified portfolio and a strategic approach to his business ventures, Scott is poised to continue his ascent in multiple industries. At just 32, Travis Scott has already built an empire that spans across music, fashion, tech, and philanthropy. His journey is far from over, and with his unwavering ambition, the best is yet to come. If you've been inspired by Travis Scott's journey, from a struggling artist to one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world, make sure to hit that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing stories of business moguls who turned their dreams into reality. Greatness isn't built overnight. It's made with every beat, every decision, and every bold move. Stay tuned, because we're just getting started. What's next for Travis Scott? Let's find out together.